Allow me to sum up this episode in 2 words. Hashtag feminism. If you're still watching after that, prepare for pain. If the headlines continue to prove nothing else, it's that Hollywood knows about as much about women and the rights they should have, and how most women view their rights, should be expressed as well. I know about making internet videos when I'm off when my bottle of crazy pills are empty. Completely empty. Still. With some sleep in me, I'm going to try to give this episode a fair viewing, but be warned. Caitlin Stowe quickly became my favorite supporting character on the show. Yeah, I knew she would eventually have Killer Frost, but again, this episode, there isn't any new emotional ground that's handled on, really, until the very end of the episode. And it feels like it could have been tacked on at the end of last year's excellent Killer Frost. That episode was amazing. It built up everything, came from no one acting like an idiot. I mean, here's the basic breakdown. Caitlin owes favors to a supervillain who nobody's been able to catch in 4 years, called Alienette. You want to know why she owes the favor to this Alienette? Because when the cure for Killer Frost started wearing off, she didn't want Killer Frost to hurt anyone. So she made a deal with... So, did she go back to Cisco or Julian and say, we need to tweak this cure, or we need to look into the power dampening cuffs technology? Oh no, she got some power dampening techniques and such from the supervillain. She just went to a supervillain. She claims that nobody's been able to find her in 4 years, but she sure was able to find her easily, despite the fact that the Caitlin Stowe we all know wouldn't be able to find. It just boggles the mind. But anyway, so the deal is that Killer Frost would act as muscle and hurt people with her cold powers. Yes. Yes. The deal is, I don't want Killer Frost to hurt anyone with cold powers, so I'll have her hurt people with her cold powers for you. That's the deal. And this is the big feminist episode where they go hashtag feminism, where all the men are drunk and everything. Which, by the way, I'm not the biggest expert, but our bachelor and bachelorette parties normally held closer to the wedding, like, I don't know, when we know when the wedding is going to take place, where it's going to take place, who the maid of honor is going to be. They don't just suddenly come out of the blue. This episode is on complete autopilot. It's just somebody decided they needed to make and they should have just called it Iris, because the Flash isn't in this at all. I don't have a problem with an episode told from Iris's point of view. She again quickly became one of my favorite characters in early season 1. However, here's the thing as a writer. Here's the thing, and this goes for any medium. Show, don't tell. You don't need characters you should never have a character come in and announce who they are. You should never have other characters just announce that they're strong, or that they're this, or that they are that. And by the way, I'd be as harsh in my criticism if these were male characters, so don't even go there in the comments section, because if any of the male characters tried to take on a supervillain who they said was the most powerful ever, which Alienette isn't, and was doing all these drug deals without any backup or anything, with just 2 guns, and they didn't even have themselves spaced out properly and weren't even behind cover, I call them frickin' morons too. They are frickin' morons, and yet this episode wants us to think that they are, wants us to make some sort of statement. So, the episode's plot goes on. Elongated Man continues not to fit in. He drags Barry and the rest of them to a strip club that looks like you get a disease just from inhaling in it. Don't worry, though. It's a TV strip club where you pay women to put clothes on. Yeah. Joe finds out that his new stepdaughter, is moonlighting as the girl in gold boots. No, literally, look at her outfit. She's the girl in gold boots. Of course, she gives some spiel about writing a book about dictating women's sexuality, women taking control of everything, and new sexuality, and blah, blah, blah. You've heard this speech about 1 billion times before in 1 billion other shows with 1 billion other rebellion, women where male writers are trying to prove what feminists they are and how tough female characters are, and blah, 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 blah. Cisco says he's going to be the designated superhero, but does nothing while Barry finally gets drunk. However, they don't do anything fun with that. They just sort of have him... Grant Gustin, the idea of the Flash being drunk with his superpowers could have been great. There are so many... That's the thing that hurts the most about watching this episode, is there are great ideas in it. And here's the thing. I have never shut off a Flash episode in the middle before. This is the first time it happened. Last night was the first time it happened, and if you saw the rant before I deleted it to make way for this review, you'll know. I've never done that before, but this just evolved it into a preachy mess. This is why I gave up on Supergirl, is this sort of preaching. Listen, here's the thing, is you don't have to... The female characters who broke ground in this way never had to announce that they were being strong characters, or never had to have hashtags before, so why do it now? There's only one genuinely good moment. Well, 2 actually. And that is Joe having a very real crisis about and Joe finally showing why he is so upset. And that is, he's nearly 50. And he's having a hard time with Cecile being pregnant. Alright, and that scene plays out perfectly. Why they couldn't have put it in a better episode. The same goes for Killer Frost deciding to become part of Team Flash. Again. Oh, and the less said about Katie Sackhoff's acting, the better. First of all, every time she takes a step, she looks like she's going to keel over. It looks like... She looks so unsteady on her feet. I mean, it's like, it's like someone with vertigo. I don't think Katie Sackhoff is used to high heels. I really don't. She looks like she's gonna keel over. She's keeping somebody called the Weeper, who has tears that they say can make people fall in love, but they don't show that happening. They just show people sniff his tears that he sheds every time he's punched, which... Wouldn't onions be more efficient? I mean, you risk killing him if you have to hit him hard enough for him to tear up and losing your source of drugs. She tries to sell it to some shady Asian guys. Iris and the rest of them try to stop him with guns. It doesn't work. Killer Frost stops her with the help of a Cecile and a giant magnet, which, if this character has to carry around a bucket of metal with her to put around her hand, that is the only metal she can control. How is she so hard to stop? But yeah, apparently it looks like Killer Frost is going to become part of Team Flash. Something that I've been calling since season 3, these Killer Frost episodes. So why they took so long to get there. All in all, this episode has maybe 2 redeeming scenes, and the rest of it is just preachy garbage designed to make you feel guilty for being born with a penis. It's just stupid. It's just, and it's not even original. So, the final score for this episode of The Flash is a 1 out of 10. And yes, my scoring system does support 0. Those 2 redeeming scenes give it something going for it, but just avoid this. Just know that there's a weepy guy who the Thinker now has control of, and that Killer Frost is going to try to become part of a team, and move on.